when you stopped in front of the house, did people approach the car?
After we turned around the cul-de-sac and we got surrounded by people.
And how many people would you say, were outside at any given time?
At least 20.
At least 20. And when they surrounded the car, can you tell us a little bit about how that interaction initially took place?
So initially we got surrounded, and no, I believe they were on one side of the car. And
what side of the car were they on?
The driver's side. And everything was cordial at first, and then someone from the back shouted something, and then Jack Snyder replied back, and then things started getting out of hand, and the car got surrounded.
And when you say that things got out of hand, what kind of things were happening?
The tensions were escalating.
And when you say tensions, were people arguing?
They were.
At some point in time, did anything happen where, was anything thrown at the car, or did anybody touch the car?
Yes, things were thrown, and the people were on the back of the car, bouncing on the rear bumpers. People were outside the passenger window, the backseat windows, banging on the windows.
And when that happened, what, if anything, happened next with regards to the car?
With regards to the car, things were just getting way too out of hand. I was pretty scared at the moment, and then I don't remember who shouted, but someone said go, and Jack Snyder hit the gas pedal, and we went.
And when you went, where did you go?
We went down the road, about 2-3 houses, but they were pretty spread out.
And in States 49, can you see where you went down the road?
Yes, towards the top of the image.
So somewhere in this area here?
Yes.
If the record can reflect, I'm pointing on the left side of on the right side of the picture towards the top of Laurel Glen. We're just before the intersection of Farmhouse Road and Laurel Glen.
Court will allow the record to reflect that. Thank you.
And when the car went up that way, what, if anything, happened when you were up there?
The individuals inside of the car got out, including myself, and some Shelton kids ran up, and they were talking with Lito, Jack, and Tyler Da Silva.
And who, if you can recall, who exactly got out of the car at that moment?
I don't remember.
Did you get out of the car at some point?
I did get out of the car at some point.
Why did you get out of the car?
Really because nothing good was happening there. Kind of walked into a trap and wanted to escape.
And you said people from down the street ran down?
Yes.
And did they speak to any of you guys down the road?
They did not speak to myself, Demetrios, Mackenzie, or Will. We were sitting on the curb away from the car, and they were talking to Tyler, Jack, and Lito.
And when they were talking to Tyler and Jack, what was the tone of the conversation? Not what they said, but what was the tone of the back and forth?
At first, everything was cordial. And then it escalated a little bit. Was there any arguing going on? Not really too much shouting. I would say it was pretty cordial at first.
At some point, well, let me ask you this. Did you witness the Shelton kids interacting with the defendant and Tyler and Jack?
Yes.
And did you witness any physical altercation down the road when the kids came down the road? Was there any physical fighting?
No.
How long would you say the interaction was between your group of friends and the Shelton kids?
I'd give it 5 minutes.
Okay. Now, I want to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 44. Wait a second. Yep. Now, have you seen that before?
I have.
You've seen that in my office?
Yes.
Now, do you know whether or not that part of the video happens before you get out of the car or after you get out of the car?
I believe it happened before.
So you're kind of still in the car, a couple people get out, or 3 people get out, walk down the road, you're in the car, and at some point, does Jack turn the car around and come back? How does that happen? Let us know what the
How I got
if you
got
can
to the
recall,
curb area?
what's that?
How I got to the curb area?
Yeah,
Is that
how
what you're
that,
asking?
so based on that, if that happens before you get out of the car, help us understand when you get out of the car in relation to that exhibit.
That video was pretty much a blur. That's one part of the night.
Right.
It was new to me once you showed me that video. Didn't exactly remember or recall exactly how all those events went down. I can't say if I got out of the car before that happened or after that happened. But I know before the individuals went back, I was already out of the car with a couple of my friends who I arrived with sitting on the curb.
So when you say the individuals went back, are you referring to the kids from the Shelton group?
No, I'm referring to Jack, Lito, and Tyler.
Oh, okay. So, well, let me ask you this. At some point, this is a small picture or small video of what happened down the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at some point in time, you get out of the car with Will, Mackenzie, and Dimitri,
Yes.
and you sit on the curb.
Yes.
When you do that, is there an interaction between Tyler, Jack, and the defendant?
Yes.
Can you please explain what that interaction is like?
So the interaction was, first of all, it was agitated. The scene was tense. Lito was searching for a weapon in the car. He said, "Jack, where is your knife? Where the F is your knife?" And he was looking around in the glove box and the center console and did not find anything.
I'm sorry?
I did not see a knife.
How was the defendant reacting prior to looking for the knife?
He was on edge
Why was he on edge?
because he was upset he was upset from what happened to Jack's car.
And what kind of things was he saying to make you feel like he was upset? How was he acting?
It's going pretty insane. I'd say he was using vulgar language, cussing. Jack, look what the F they did to your car.
And after he said, look what the F that they did to your car, that's when he asked Jack, where's the knife?
Yes.
How long would you say that was going on for down the street?
That they were searching?
Well, that the defendant was acting in an aggressive manner and cursing and going insane because of what happened to the car, and then looking for the knife.
No more than 30 seconds.
And you indicated that you did not see a knife?
I did not.
Do you know whether or not the defendant ended up finding a knife?
After the fact,
Right, but at the moment...
I
you did-
assume he found a knife, but in the moment, did not see a knife and believed for the rest of the night that he never found a knife because I never saw one.
Now, when you say that the 3 of them went back down the street, before they go back down the street, was there any talk about going back down the street by the defendant?
Yes.
What was he saying?
I don't remember the exact words they were saying, but there was conversation. I was too far away to hear the exact words, and they got back in and drove down.
Now, not telling us what either Jack or Tyler said, did any of those two individuals try to talk the defendant out of going back down the street?
Tyler did.
Now, at some point in time, you indicate that the car leaves to go down the street.
Yes.
Do you see who gets in Jack's car before going down the street?
Yes.
Who?
Jack was driving, and Lito, and Tyler Silva.
And when the car goes down the street, how long would you say the car was down the street for before it returned?
No more than 5 minutes.
And when it was down the street, what if anything did you hear when it was down the street?
So it went down the street, and the four of us were talking amongst ourselves, trying to really figure out what was going on and how we ended up in the situation. And they drove down, and you can kind of hear the tires screech a little bit. And so you know the car is stopping.